Hi Grade 7. Sa week na ito ay tatalakayan at pag-aaralan natin ang arts. Bago tayo magsimula, ano nga ba ang expectation natin sa pag-aaral dito sa week 2? Expectation. Sa iyong gamit na module o sa video na ito, lilikha ka ng isang aktibidad na nagpapahusay sa iyong talento at pagkamalikhain. Susuriin mo ang mga elemento at prinsipyo ng sining na ginagamit sa bawat sining at sining ng Luzon sa pamamagitan ng mga larawan, pamilyar sa iba't ibang lugar, forma ng sining, kultura at kasaysayan ng rehiyon ng Ilocos. Malalaman mo kung paano pahalagahan ang kagandahan ng isa sa mga makukulay at kapanapanabik na rehiyon sa Pilipinas. Masasalamin o kukunin mo ang mood, ideya, o mensahe na nagmula sa napili mga artifact at art object sa mga sumusunod na lalawigan ng Cordillera Administratibong Rehiyon at Rehiyon ng Bicol. Makikilala mo rin ang ilan sa mga katangian ng sining ng Kalinga at Ifugao. Upang higit na mapagbuti ang iyong mga kasanayan, tutulungan ka ng module o video na ito na lumikha ng mga likhang sining na maaaring lokal na binuo gamit ang isang recycled na material. Pinahahalagahan ng mga nag-aaral ang mga artifact at mga bagay sa sining sa mga tuntunin ng kanilang mga pag-andar at kanilang mga paggamit. Ilocos is an administrative region of the Philippines designated as Region 1, occupying the northwestern section of Luzon. It is bordered by the Cordillera Administrative Region or CAR to the east, the Cagayan Valley to the northeast and southeast, and the Central Luzon to the south. Arts and crafts are important means of expression, which communicate views, ideas and feelings through the use of skills and imagination. These are important parts of our daily lives and can be found everywhere. Some of their well-known artworks are Calle Crisologo, which is considered as Intramuros of the North, the Inabel A hand-weaving technique of the Ilocanos that is produced using traditional wooden looms, and lastly the Bornay, an unglazed earthen jar with small opening. The basketry of the Kalinga shows their fine craftsmanship. The labo is a bowl-shaped basket made from rattan, with the sizes that vary from 20 hanggang 150 cm in diameter. Ang tattooing ay isa pang anyo ng sining ng lalawigan. Karaniwan itong tinatakpan ng dibdib at braso, maaari itong isaalang-alang bilang damit at dekorasyon. Nangangahulugan din ito ng isang ritual ng daanan mula kabataan hanggang sa matatanda, isang marka ng kabayanihan, at kagitingan at katayuan ng isang tao sa pamayanan. Ang disenyo ay binubuo ng geometric pattern at mga linya. Apuwang Od is the last mambabatok, or traditional Kalinga tattoo artist. Siya ay gumagamit ng isang halo ng uling at tubig na tinapik sa balat sa pamamagitan ng tinap na dulo. Ang burol ay isang eskultura na gawa sa kahoy na kumakatawan sa mga espiritu ng butil ng bigas. Ginagamit ito sa mga ritual na ginaganap upang tawagan ang mga ninuno upang protektahan ang kanilang mga palayan, mula sa salot at upang humingi ng masaganang ani. It is carved wooden, human figure with simplified forms. The bulo is usually made of nara, which signifies wealth, happiness, and well-being to the Ifugao. The amulets of the Ifugaos are called ling-ling or dinumog. These are fertility symbols worn around the neck. Bicol Region or Region 5, also known as Bicolandia, is one of the 17th regions of the Philippines. Bicol, also called Bicol, is composed of 4 provinces and 2 islands. Provinces in the Bicol Peninsula, the southeastern end of Luzon Island. Its regional center is Legazpi City in Albay Province. Ang Bicol Region ay matatagpuan sa timog silangang kahabaan ng Luzon, ang pinakamalaking isla sa Pilipinas, at napapaligiran ng mga likas na mga harang. It is bounded by Lamon Bay on the north, Pacific Ocean on the east, and Sibuyan Sea and Ragay Gulf on the west. It also has access to the rest of Luzon through its neighboring province Quezon. Bicol region is famous in its bags made from abaca fiber and other local materials. The bags from Bicol are simple yet elegant. Ang Bicol region ay sikat sa gawang abaca at raffia fibers. Ano-ano ang mga ito? Baskets, bags, slippers, and coin purses. Panuuri natin kung paano ginagawa ang bags sa Bicol region. Slippers.
The traditional weaving in this area dates back hundreds of years. Working with the local weavers, we developed soft-weave weaving technique, which are using now to develop basket.
I'm Glenn. I'm the owner of the company. We specialize in seagrass.
I'm Brian. I'm working with Glenn.
The company started 1986 through my uncle, and we started doing business with last 2008. The type of grass we are using is seagrass, and the local name for it is bangkwang. We harvest it here in the wild in the mountains, and especially growing near the volcano sites. In the weaving process, we start harvesting the seagrass in the wild. Then we do some drying. After drying, we do braiding by hand. Then we use a wooden mold to do the spoke and the weaving.
To become a good weaver, you need to be patient, you need to be skillful, you need to love what you are doing, and most important, you need to learn from the older weavers.
Activity 1. Analyze the following artwork according to its art elements. Upang mas higit na malaman, panuurin ang video na ito.
So let's start learning on the elements of arts. What do you think is the common thing that you can notice? Yes, it's line. And artwork are made up of different lines. Each of these pictures shows similar thing, but one main idea that differentiates them is how the artist used lines in that artwork. Line is one of the 7 elements of arts. Among them are the shape, color, texture, form, value, and space. These 7 elements are the building blocks of all art and are a great way to start in analyzing or interpreting a work of art. Line is a point created when one object moves from one point to another. In the visual art, line can be horizontal, vertical, diagonal, straight, curve, or freeform. They can be thick or thin, light or dark. Sometimes, when line can be all of these things, it will create an art. What quality do you see in this line? How would you describe them? Every artist has its unique way of applying these lines. It's one way of expressing our individual style. The next element of the art is the shape. When the beginning of a line connects with its own ends or intersect along with another, it creates shape. Shapes are enclosed in two-dimensional space. That means depth, length, and width. They are always flat. There are countless shapes that we can divide into two main categories: geometric shapes and organic shapes. Geometric shapes can be determined mathematically. They are known as regular shapes. They always have a specific name, such as circle, square, or rectangle, and they can be often seen in nature. The second category of shape is the organic shape. It can be found in the nature like leaves or water. They are irregular, really curvy. We have names for specific organic shapes such as stars, moon, or heart, but most of them doesn't have a name. The third element of art is the color. Color is created when light strikes an object and reflects back into your eyes. All colors comes from the three primary colors, and it can also be seen in black and white. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. You can now make a primary color. Primary colors are mixed together to create another colors, like the secondary colors. The secondary colors are combinations of two of the primary colors in equal amounts. Red plus yellow equals orange. Yellow plus blue equals green. And blue plus red equals purple. Tertiary colors are combination of primary color and secondary color. When you are making a tertiary color, the primary color is always named first, such as red-orange and yellow-orange. Altogether, they form a color wheel. The color wheel organized a color. The circle shows the relationship between the colors. The next element is the texture. Texture is something that feels or looks like, or as if you might feel, as if it was touched. The feelings of textures are hard or soft, rough or smooth, matte or glossy. Texture can be actual or implied. You can create a texture for a person to actually feel on the artwork surface. Or you can use drawing technique to make a flat artwork appear to be textured. Another element of art is the form. Form must have a height, width, and depth. It's three-dimensional. There are two types of form, the geometric form and the organic form. The geometric form has a specific name such as cone, cubes, or pyramid. They are typically man-made, while the organic form don't have a specific names. Forms can be created in actual or implied way. In actual way, some freestanding sculpture taking three-dimensional space so they can be viewed from any angle. And for the implied way, some other sculpture consists of sculptural three-dimensional elements attached to a solid background. Another element of art is the value. Value is how light or dark a color looks like. It is used to break an object like a three-dimensional. The value scale shows you the value of white to black. Tint is a color mixed of white. So we can see red becomes pink and blue becomes light blue. In value, there is also shade. Shade is a color mixed with black. Tone is also present in value because tone produced by mixing a color with gray. See? You can change the value of the color through tinting, shading, and toning. And the last element of art is space. Space is the area where artwork is placed. It can be within an artwork like a drawing or a painting, and also contains surrounding area of artwork. There are three types of space. We have the positive, negative, and white. Positive space is created in the areas that are occupied by an object, and the negative space can be seen around the object. And the white space are created space between the objects. Using the space of the object is what we call composition. Depending on how you use the space, we can fill it. It's either a crowded, open, orderly, chaotic, or playful. Artist uses several techniques to create the illusions of space within the two-dimensional artwork. Relative size, varying use and values, contrast of focus and blur, overlapping, different placement, and the use of one or two perspective gives the three-dimensional of space. Perspective is a volume of space or three-dimensional object on a flat surface. On a parallel line, extend from an object and meet together on a horizontal line, that is a vanishing point. A drawing has a one-point perspective when it contains only one vanishing point on a horizontal line. A two-point perspective uses two vanishing points on a horizontal line.
Now, alam mo na ang 7 elements of art, may idea ka na kung ano ang pagkakaiba-iba ng bawat artwork, ma-analyze mo na, at masasagutan ang activity mo.
Make your own jar using a clay, or any available material you have. Materials: clay, pencil. Procedures: 1. Roll your clay into a ball. 2. Throw your clay onto the surface to make a flat bottom. 3. Press both thumbs into the ball to make a hole. 4. Pull out the sides to make the hole bigger. 5. Smooth the sides. 6. And now you have a small pot.
Shape it into a pinch pot. So first, you need to make a ball. Get a nice sphere going. Then once you have your sphere, take your thumb and push it into the sphere nice and deep. And then this is how you get a pinch pot. You put your thumb back in there and you start pinching. That's where it gets its name from. And as you pinch, turn. So pinch and turn, fix them. And you'll start to see that it looks like a little pot. But if you want to get a little more advanced, pinch hard and get those walls thin. And as you get those walls thin, you may have more cracks, but you can just fix them. Okay? You can use the table to push down on. But be careful it doesn't stick to the table, so pick it up every once in a while. And you'll see it's looking nicer, it's getting bigger, it's looking a little more like a nice pot. You can rub the tops to make it smooth, pinch where it's low to bring it up, or push it down to bring it low. Now the fun thing is, you could actually rub the inside, make it smooth, just like you're rubbing on the outside. Look at the sides, see if they're even. If you need to even them, smush it, maybe use the table to help you. And then yeah, you could even smoothen the outside. And I'll be showing you how to do these different things. All right, so there we go. That's how to make a pinch pot using modeling clay.
Ang criteria ay creativity, craftsmanship, at elements and principles of design used. May mga puntos, iba-base dyan kung gaano kaganda o pangit ang inyong ginawa.
Activity 3. Soap carving. Objective: make a sculpture artwork using soap. Materials: Perla soap stick pusher. Procedures: 1. Choose a design for your soap carving. 2. Trace or draw your design on your soap. 3. Start carving the spaces to emphasize the shape or design you want to create. 4. Make sure to document your work until you finish it. Kailangan, habang gumagawa kayo ng soap carving, ay kumukuha kayo ng litrato o mag-selfies, hanggang matapos ang inyong paggawa. At katulad ng ibang activity, isa-submit rin sa teacher ang inyong mga picture, o mga nagawa. Activity 4. Do-it-yourself activity. Step-by-step procedure for doing the activity. 1. Cut the sides of the plate as shown in the pictures, shapes each to form petals. 2. Color the paint using poster paint. 3. Tie the first yarn around the plate so that it will not move as you start weaving. 4. Tie the yarn all over the petal as the base for the weaving. 5. Start weaving from the center using the over-under technique. 6. Make another petal paper plate and place underneath the first petal with the yarn weave. Ito ang example sa paggawa ng paper plate. Kayo bahala kung paano nyo gusto na procedure, maging creative, sa activity na ito. The Ilocos region has three major arts and crafts. The architectural design of their famous architectures are unique for having preserved much of its Hispanic colonial character, particularly its grid street pattern and historic urban layout. In the same way, it happens to be created by plain or pattern woven cotton made in hardwood looms, using techniques passed down through generations. Lastly, the burnay was a mix of fine gravel, sand and ashes and fire and clay to make it heavy and sturdy.
Amulets. An ornament or small piece of jewelry thought to give protection against evil, danger, or diseases. Carving. The act or skill of creating carved objects, designs, or figures. Geometric. Relating to art based on simple shapes, as straight lines, circles, or squares. Sculpture. A piece of art that is made by carving or molding clay, stone, or metal, etc. Tattoo. An indelible mark or figure fixed upon the body by insertion of pigment under the skin or by production of scars. Laba. Is a bowl-shaped basket made from rattan, with sizes that vary from 2150 centimeters in diameter.
Bulol, a wooden sculpture that represents the rice granary spirits. Mababatok, derived from the root word batok that means to hate. Ling-ling, the amulets of Ifugao which made from jade, gold, copper, bronze, stone and other materials. Ang rehiyon ng Bicol ay ang pangunahing gumagawa ng mga produkto ng abaka, bago pa ang dumating ang mga Espanyol sa Pilipinas. Ang lalawigan ng Albay ay may isang malaking halaga ng mayamang patag na lupa at ang agrikultura ang pinakamalaking bahagi ng ekonomiya ng lalawigan. Coconuts, bigas, ang abaka, at ang mais ang pangunahing tanim. Ang mga handicraft ay nagpapalakas ng mga kita sa kanayunan. Kabilang sa sining, kasama sa bapor ng Bicol Region ang basket, bag, coin purses at tsinelas na gawa sa abaka at fiber ng raffia. At ang huling bahagi ng ating pag-aaral ay check your understanding. Sa number 1 ang sabi dito. Ano ang natutunan mo pagkatapos pag-aralan ang mga gawang sining at sining ng Bicol Region sa mga termino ng nakasulat sa baba? Process of making. Proseso ng paggawa. Materials used o mga ginamit na materyales. Elements of arts observed. Mga elemento ng sining na naobserbahan. Ipagpatuloy lang ang pagsagot. Gawin nyo lahat ng inyong activity para mataas ang grades nyo. Diyan na mag-e-end ang ating pag-aaral dito sa ating MAPEH Grade 7.